Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my 2025 to 26 NFL seasonal predictions. Yes, I know this is a very well requested video that you guys have been waiting to see, so it's finally here and I've got a bunch of things lined up. So we're going to get straight into it. Show any support you can, subscribe, like, do whatever you got to do. Make sure to comment what you disagree with, anything that you agree with. So without further ado, let's predict the NFL 2025 to 2026 season. So we're basically going to be going by division, just predicting who's going to win each division. Then I'll give you my award picks. Some of them have changed, some of them have not from my previous video. And then I'm going to give you my 2 conference championship predictions. Beginning with the NFC West, I got the Seattle Seahawks in 4th place because I just don't think Sam Darnold is a everyday starter. He showed a lot of flashes over in Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell, and keyword Kevin O'Connell in that sentence that made him strive and fit where he fit in that offense. Now that he's in Seattle without that great system, I don't think that he's going to be good enough because no disrespect to JSN or Cooper Kupp, but they are a big downgrade from Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson. Alongside, they have no tight end. They barely have an offensive line outside of Gray Zabel. I don't think that the Seahawks have a good enough roster to finish anything but 4th place. Next up in 3rd place, I thought really hard about this one, but I am going to go with the San Francisco 49ers. Just because, just every single season, we weren't used to last year, because last year we were used to just them making the NFC Championship or above every single season because of their roster, but now they got plagued by injuries last year. Like CMC doesn't have any Achilles. Brandon Ayuk got hurt. Deebo Samuel had this sickness. Trent Williams hurt his ankle. Ricky Pearsall got shot even. Like, the 49ers just always have something wrong with them. And I just don't think that their roster is going to be healthy enough for them to make a bounce back. Next up in 2nd place, I got the Arizona Cardinals, just getting the slight notch over the San Francisco 49ers. Cardinals, they have a lot of potential. They beefed up their defensive line, adding Walter Nolan. They got their star corner in Will Johnson, who has been looking great in practice. Trey McBride already looking like one of the best tight ends in the league. They beefed up their offensive line. Marvin Harrison Jr., I think we're going to see a big step up from him. It just really depends. Can Kyler Murray return to that 2020 form that we once saw him in? If he can do that, then the Cardinals actually might win the division. Not even kidding you. But for now, I don't quite have them passing the Los Angeles Rams just yet. The Rams just are a team that continues to surprise me every single year, and I know because we are the Eagles and we barely lost to them or barely beat them in the playoffs. Matt Stafford continues to drink from the fountain of youth. Just added Devontae Adams. Puka Nacua is always going to be a stud. They drafted Terrence Ferguson, but the thing that makes me drool over the Rams the most is their defensive line. Oh my goodness. Their defensive line was so much better than expected last year. Jared Verse and Braden Fisk coming in the top 5 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. It honestly made everybody forget that Aaron Donald was ever gone. And if we see even a fraction of that this year, then the Rams are no doubt going to win the division. Alright, moving on to the AFC North, and this is a pretty easy one here. I got the Browns finishing in last place just because they're the Browns. They're an incompetent franchise. We don't know who their quarterback is going to be. God, who knows who's going to be their quarterback. Jerome Ford, I don't think moves the needle. They don't really have a receiver game. Like, Jerry Jeudy's their only one. Wyatt Teller, Joel Bitonio are getting older. Myles Garrett barely even wants to stay there. Denzel Ward barely even wants to stay there. Like, the Browns are a mess right now, and I would be shocked if they even placed higher than 4th place. Or I would be shocked if they weren't the worst team in the AFC, in my opinion. All right, coming in 3rd place, I do have the Pittsburgh Steelers. And listen, will they probably go 9-8, finish 2nd, and make the wild card? Yes, probably. But am I going to pick that to happen? No, I got to go against Mike Tomlin this year, man. This roster, if anything, is probably a downgrade from last year. DK Metcalf's a stud, but Aaron Rodgers, man, the dude looks old at this point. He literally does. He looks like an 80-year-old man playing football. They did add Jonnu Smith, though. I'll give him that. They did add Jalen Ramsey, but I don't really think that moves the needle as much as you think. They just extended T.J. Watt, so he's going to be there for a while. But just I don't think the Steelers are going to get any worse playing wise. I think they're record wise, but I just think the top two teams in the division are going to be tough to get by. Which means coming in second place, I got the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, hold on. I know most Bengals fans are going to be coming for my head. I get that. Joe Burrow, awesome. Jamar Chase, awesome. Great. T. Higgins, awesome. Great. But worst defense in football, by far. Trey Hendrickson's getting mad. You barely signed a rookie to a rookie contract. Your offensive line's still one of the worst in the league. It takes more than just your offense to function. Like, that's why you guys lost last year. And I don't really think you guys did enough to your defense to really make me move the guys' needle for me. I can't get behind it. Which means coming in first place, obviously, I got the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are gonna rule this division for a little while, at least until they win a Super Bowl, which might be this year, but I'm not gonna spoil anything, you know. Lamar Jackson. Somehow Derrick Henry got more beefed up from last year. They added DeAndre Hopkins, a solid number 2 or 3 position. And they might have one of, if not the best secondary in the NFL. Jair Alexander, Kyle Hamilton, just added Malachi Starks. They got Nate Wiggins, Marlon Humphrey, the best run defense in football. Like, the Ravens have all the aspects. They have all the tools to win a Super Bowl and definitely to win their division. But just Lamar has got to stop being so terrible in the playoffs. Which brings us to the AFC South. Coming in last place, obviously, I got the Indianapolis Colts. I don't believe you guys one bit. I do not believe Anthony Richardson is a good quarterback. I don't believe Daniel Jones is any better, to be honest with you. I think Michael Pittman's super overrated. I think Josh Downs is a very good receiver, probably the number 1 receiver on that team. I think your offensive line has some potential. I don't think your defense is very good. I'm just going through the list of things that your team has wrong with them. The only really upside about this team right now is Jonathan Taylor. That's what I can really say about your guys' team. Sorry, you guys are a mess. Now coming into third place, we got the Tennessee Titans. And, if Cam Ward turns out, you guys are going to be way better. But I hate the position that Cam Ward was just put in. You know, grandfather Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett. Chickasimo Okonkwo is your tight end. That's terrible. Tony Pollard, he's a stud. Tajay Spears, he could be a stud. I don't really like this offensive line very much. I mean, Lloyd Cushenberry's pretty good. You guys just added Kevin Zeitler. I thought that's a pretty good addition. Jeff Simmons is a stud on defense. Amani Hooker, you got a solid safety duo. This team really depends on, the Titans need Cam Ward to be good. They really do. Because if Cam Ward ends up to be a flop, then the Titans are cooked for, the next 20 years. And they got to start all over again. I hope that's not the case. But I'm predicting you guys to finish third for now. You guys could make a splash. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But this is where I have you guys for now. Now, coming in second place, I got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Again, I've always been a believer of Trevor Lawrence. I do really think Liam Cohen is going to come in and make a serious impact on that offense. Same impact he made on the Buccaneers. They got a decent pass rush. You know, Trayvon Walker is starting to come into his own. Josh Hines-Allen is always going to be a stud. Foyesade Oluokun, Devin Lloyd, Andre Cisco. You got some talent on defense. Brian Thomas Jr., unbelievable receiver. Travis Hunter, they finally got their two-way player. Now they just need to not screw it up. I don't like the fact that he's playing both positions because he's more of an injury risk. It just, again, much like what I said about the Titans, it really depends on, can Trevor Lawrence finally reach that next level and be the franchise quarterback that we all know he can be. Which means in first place, obviously, I got the Houston Texans. Texans, again, like I said about the Ravens, they're going to be holding down this division for a while. I can tell you that, unless the Jaguars really develop. But my one knock on this team is just how bad their offensive line is. Like, I can't believe it. It was already bad last year, and somehow it got even worse this year. They traded Laramie Tunsil to the Commanders, and my bad. They got Cam Robinson. That does not move the needle at all whatsoever. But they did have a good draft. They got Ursary from an offensive tackle. They got the Iowa State brothers, Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel. Nico Collins is going to be good. They just added Nick Chubb, a solid number 2 option, Nick Chubb. CJ Stroud did have a little bit of a sophomore slump last year, but that can be fixed. The Texans will finish first place in the AFC South. Now on to the NFC South, and the Saints are finishing last place. I don't even think they're going to win more than 3 games. Like, what are you going to do? Rely on Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shugg to carry this team in the future? Do you want to rely on Alvin Kamara, who's 30 years old? You want to rely on this terrible offensive line, this aging defense? Their team, one of the oldest in the league, they're just a terrible team. They were terrible last year. They're going to be terrible again this year. We have no idea who their quarterback's going to be. I imagine Spencer Rattler. I don't know what to say about this team. It's a mess right now. Now in third place, I got the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are going to be a very fun team to watch. I think we're going to see a big step up from Xavier Legette. Adam Thielen, Mr. Consistent, the offensive line that they beefed up a little bit could give more protection to Bryce Young. Tetairoa McMillan, I said I'm not too high on him, but he could prove me wrong. This running back room, surprisingly really good. Jonathan Brooks, Chuba Hubbard, Rico Dowdle they just added. And if we can just see the Bryce Young that we saw the second half of last season, then the Panthers might be good to go, but I would give it one more year. All right, now coming in second place, I thought really hard about this one, but I went to the Falcons just because I have no idea what we're going to see from Michael Penix Jr. He could be good, he could suck, but the Falcons, no shortage of a doubt, the Falcons have a great roster. Drake London really came into his own last year. They have a decent offensive line in Jake Matthews, Chris Lindstrom. Bijan Robinson, I feel like, is one of the best running backs in the league already. Kyle Pitts exists. They finally, address their pass rush. James Pierce Jr., Jalen Walker, Jesse Bates, AJ Terrell are always going to be studs. But just if Michael Penix can turn out, then the Falcons, like I said about the Panthers, they might be good to go. Which brings us to first place. Obviously, I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Scratch what I said about the Falcons having the best roster in this division. No, it's actually the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are an absolutely stacked team right now. Tristan Wirfs, Rachaad White, Bucky Irving. Baker Mayfield's been unstoppable since he's gotten to the Buccaneers. Cade Otton's a great tight end. And this receiving room, man. Mike Evans, Trey Palmer, Chris Godwin, Sterling Shepard they had last year. Emeka Egbuka. I'm sure I'm missing a couple others. But Jalen McMillan. This team right now has all the potential in the world to actually win a Super Bowl. I mean, I may not be crazy when I say they're one of the most complete teams in the NFL right now today. That's why I have them winning first place in the NFC South. Alright, starting with the AFC East now. I got the Jets at last place. Pretty easy one here. Justin Fields isn't healthy. The Jets are cooked for the future. Whoever is at starting quarterback now after Justin Fields gets hurt, I'm going to assume that Garrett Wilson's going to get a lot of targets. Garrett Wilson, obviously a stud. The defense has never been a problem for the Jets. Still one of the best defenses in the NFL. But I don't believe in this offense one bit. Maybe Mason Taylor can turn out, but just the Jets are the Jets. Now in third place, I got the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins, I just don't think they can beat good competition. Like, they are not a bad team, but they are also not even close to the team that their fan base advertises it to be. Like, Tua is not a good quarterback anymore. Like, I'm sorry. Like, the guy's gotten concussed too many times. You can't physically bump your head that hard every single time for 3 times in a row and expect a different result. Tyreek Hill is going to slow down a little bit. Jalen Waddle still can hit his stride, but he regressed last year. Grandfather Darren Waller is going to come in to be their tight end or whatever else he's doing there. I don't know. But the Dolphins are like a circle because they have no corners, like at all. They have no corners, and the one that was supposed to be their number one corner got hurt and is out for the season. The Dolphins are cooked. Now in second place, I got the Patriots. You guys, like I said in my record prediction video, you guys are about to see how much coaching matters. Mike Vrabel, again, knows the mistakes he made in Tennessee, and he is going to work as hard as he can to fix those mistakes here in New England. This is the best possible move that the Patriots could have made. Drake May has a very high upside. You know, he's like a Baker Mayfield, but way more mobile. I love the addition of Stephon Diggs. That offensive line has been rebuilt. Their defense needs a little bit of work, but I still think could be solid. Travion Henderson could take the job away from Ramondre Stevenson. I think the Patriots have all the tools that they need to be successful in the NFL. And I'm predicting them to finish second place because I think the rebuild is almost complete. Which means, obviously, coming in first place, I got the Buffalo Bills. Like, the Bills are going to win the division every single year. It's just going to happen. Josh Allen is going to win a Super Bowl eventually. He's going to win another MVP eventually. What Josh Allen was able to do, taking this team that was supposed to not be as good to another division title and an AFC title appearance. If they can get at least one like proven number one receiver in this team, like a Terry McLaurin, then the Bills could finally get over the hump and win the Super Bowl. I'm calling it now. The Bills are going to win the AFC East once again. Now we got the AFC West, and in last place, I got the Raiders. Now, hold on. I don't think the Raiders are going to be a bad team by any means. Far from it. I just think this division is just too strong for them to finish anything but fourth place. Their roster outside of their offense, a couple key components in their team is really not that good. I mean, Geno Smith, he's a gunslinger. You know, he's gonna throw some interceptions, but he's also gonna get you a ton of yards. Ashton Genty is a generational running back. I'm willing to take a gamble that he's gonna be a top 10 running back at the end of this year. Brock Bowers, just nobody expected him to be this good last year, and he's already like one of the best tight ends in the league. They're continuing to beef up that offensive line. Jacoby Myers showed serious flashes last year. Max Crosby, the leader of that defense. The Raiders have all the potential to finish above 500 this year. Alright, now here's where it gets spicy. Let me know how you guys feel about this. But in third place, I got the Broncos. Now, hold on. I think these next 3 teams in this division are going to make the playoffs. The Broncos, what an offseason they've had. Bo Nix showed serious flashes last year. Nobody expected him to be even that good, much less finish top 5 in Offensive Rookie of the Year voting. They got R.J. Harvey, J.K. Dobbins, 2 studs. Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims. They just added Evan Ingram. They have one of, if not the best, defenses on paper right now. They got all the tools to even go further than just a wild card. But just these next 2 teams are going to finish a little bit ahead of them. And yeah, guys, if you saw my 5 bold predictions video, like, this is the year I think the Chiefs don't win the AFC West. The Chiefs have been crumbling down like they're a crumbling empire, like just like the bloodline. This is just what I'm saying. You know, cheat to win every time, but sooner or later they're going to collapse. And I think it looks like it's happening now Rashid Rice can't stay out of trouble. Their team's getting more and more injury prone. Travis Kelce's continuing to slow down. Patrick Mahomes has legitimately not been good for a little while now. Their defense is more and more injury prone as the years go by. The Chiefs, as I mentioned, are crumbling and collapsing down now. Which means at first place, finally somebody dethroning the Chiefs, I got the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers, like, what is this team's weakness now? I mean, like, Justin Herbert possesses one of the best passing abilities in the NFL. Omarion Hampton, Najee Harris, a great 1-2 combo. I love the addition of Trey Harris. They added Tyler Conklin. Lad McConkey was insane last year. Rashawn Slater is going to be out, but they're going to have to rely on Joe Alt and Mekhi Becton to lead this offensive line. Their defense is going to be great, especially their secondary. The Chargers have all of the tools to be successful. I think this is the year the Chargers finally get it done in the division. Alright, now the final division, we got the NFC East, and coming in fourth place, pretty much got the Giants. The Giants have the hardest schedule in the NFL, and they don't have the roster to get by these games. Russell Wilson, I don't think, is that guy anymore. I really don't. Jackson Dart could end up be good. We don't actually know for sure. Tyrone Tracy has got a bit of a fumbling problems. Cam Scatterboo could take his place. Malik Neighbors, obviously a stud, you know. The front seven, you know, and the defense is beefy. But just I don't think they're trying to solve the puzzle that they've been trying to solve for the past years now, ever since Eli Manning have retired. Like, they have got to get a functioning, you know, true number one quarterback. Now coming into third place, I got the Dallas Cowboys. If Micah Parsons really truly requests a trade and he's out of there, then the Cowboys don't have a defense. Like, Micah Parsons is their only good defensive player. Oh, well, I'm sure they do have some talent, but Micah Parsons is really the known defensive player on that team. As for their offense, I don't know how healthy Dak's going to be. They have no running game whatsoever, and there's this offensive line just feels absolutely empty without Zach Martin there. The Cowboys are a mess right now, and I don't think they make the playoffs, much less finish higher than third. Which brings us to second place. I got the Washington Commanders. If you told me like a year ago when I was making this video that the Commanders would finish higher than fourth place, I wouldn't have believed you. But Jaden Daniels is so unbelievable. He was unbelievable last year. He's just got to avoid that sophomore slump. Brian Robinson Jr. Had the best season of his career last year. Terry McLaurin, I don't think necessarily is gone. I think he's going to get a contract. I think this is kind of like, this is your final warning. Give me a contract or I'm out of here. Deebo Samuel's been looking beefy. You know, he's been looking, very, overweight. Nowadays, that's mean to say, but golly. Zach Ertz keeps drinking from the fountain of youth. They got Laramie Tunsil. But the only knock on I have on this team is that they're like a big marble because they have no edges whatsoever. And if they can just fix that one problem, they could break out and win a Super Bowl, maybe in like the next 5 years. I hate to say that. Which means in first place, I got the Philadelphia Eagles because nobody is touching the Eagles. Nobody. The roster, they have the best roster in the NFL, one of the best quarterbacks, the best running back, the best wide receiver duo, a very good tight end, the best offensive line, the best defense. They just have the best in everything. How could I not predict the Eagles? I'm not trying to be a biased fan, but how could I not predict the Eagles to win back-to-back NFC East titles? The Eagles will go 15-2 as I predicted, and they will win the NFC East once again. Now it's time for my MVP pick, and I'm sure you guys already know who it's going to be. It's going to be Jalen Hurts. I've explained my reasoning before, and I'm sticking with it. Saquon Barkley will regress this year. I don't think we are going to be running the ball as much as we were last year. And Jalen Hurts is a good passer. Jeff Batula was literally our former pass game coach. So how can I not predict him to take a huge step up as a passer? I think he's going to have like Lamar stats from last year. But this time I think it's going to be good enough to win him his first ever MVP. I mean, he's going to win one eventually. Come on. Now it's time for my conference championship predictions, starting with the AFC. Will it be the Bills? Will it be the Chiefs maybe? Will it even be the Texans? Maybe even the Ravens, Chargers, Broncos. There's so many options. No, I think it's going to be the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen's just way too good. Like, how can I not predict them to win it this year? They got so close last year. They played the best football they have ever played while losing a lot. I think the Bills finally put the pieces together. They finally learned from their mistakes that they made in the past, and they finally get it done going to the Super Bowl. Now it's time for my NFC. Could it be the Commanders? Could the Lions finally break through? No. I'm not trying to be a biased fan. I do wholeheartedly believe the Eagles are going back to the Super Bowl. This roster is just too good. Like, you cannot seriously tell me that the Eagles are gonna lose. We have not seen them lose a football game since last year. Like, it's almost been a full year since they've lost a football game, and the Eagles are just too good. I'm not trying to be a biased fan, like I said, but I can't get behind them not making it back to the Super Bowl. Which brings us to our official Super Bowl 60, Buffalo Bills and Philadelphia Eagles. Can the Bills finally get it done? No, dude. I do genuinely believe, unbiased on everything, that the Eagles are going to win back-to-back Super Bowls. This could be the most loaded roster that we've seen, like, ever. Like, this could be the best roster in the NFL history. I do think that the Bills could win it next year, but this is Jalen Hurts' time. The Eagles are going to be ruling the NFL. The Eagles actually could be the next dynasty. I'm sorry. The Eagles actually could be the next Chiefs. And I'm not saying that to be biased, but the Eagles are your 25 to 26 Super Bowl champions once again. I will once again be a happy, happy boy. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure to leave a comment, like, subscribe, do whatever you gotta do. I'll see y'all guys the next time I upload. Peace out, and enjoy the rest of NFL preseason, and we got less than 30 days left in the season. Let's go.